How's it going, people? My name's SpenceSpeedruns. Welcome to Resident Evil, also known as Biohazard, called Veronica. We are playing the PS3 version because it's the fastest, so I am playing this on a PS3 emulator, just so you know. I'm going to be trying to commentate as we go through this. It's a very hard and it's a very full-on run throughout pretty much the entirety of it. So when staff give me the thumbs up, we'll do a countdown. As soon as I hit normal, obviously we'll start. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so here we go. Straight away, we're getting thrown into cutscenes. You'll notice as well, because we're playing the emulated version, there is a patch installed on this which skips all doors. So we won't have to see any kind of door scenes whatsoever. If you're familiar with Resident Evil lore, you'll know who this is. This is Claire Redfield, brother of Chris. Straight away, we are going to get accosted by a couple of zombies. Taking 1 or 2 bites here is not that big a deal. Kind of always manage to get 1 or 2. Again, another cutscene there, so we skip that. Get the handgun. So straight away, you'll notice this game is just full on straight from the start. Claire's been captured by Umbrella, who's obviously the big bad of the entire series. We're on Rockfort Island, which I believe is somewhere in Europe. And a T-virus outbreak has occurred, as is the norm. So first things first, we have to get off Rockfort Island. Now, we've skipped the cutscene there, but we've just been introduced to Steve. Steve is the secondary protagonist, but no one likes Steve, so I won't say too much. And yeah, these zombies are definitely a lot more dangerous than earlier ones. Now this one's interesting. So we have to literally get rid of everything that's metallic. So I'm going to get rid of the knife, the handgun, and the lighter. Because otherwise, if we go through there with anything metal on us, it will shut, and then we can't get anywhere through. And we need to get a key item in this room. We're going to see Steve again. Bye, Steve. Going to get the Hawk emblem, and we're going to unlock the shutter door, which gives us access to a fire extinguisher. But first things first, we're going to go over to a 3D printer. And we're going to turn this on. Now what this is going to let us achieve is that Hawk emblem we've picked up is metal, so we can't take it through the scanner. So we're going to put it on here, and we're going to get another thing called Alloy TLO1 from a briefcase shortly. And that's going to let us create a copy of it, which isn't metal. And then we can take it back, which gives us access to the rest of the island. So we're just going to get a prompt there to say that 3D printing is available. And we're going to go back. We're going to get a prompt to collect our items from the item box here, but we don't want that yet. So we're just going to go straight outside. The zombies will have disappeared here, but we're going to get a few more. That's just going to pop out the gate to the left there. And 2 more inside. So we're going to run straight, grab the fire extinguisher. I have no idea where she's putting these items, I'll be honest with you. That's unfortunate. And we're also going to get a small key that's inside here. And what that's going to achieve is, like, right at the start, when we came up from the jail cell, there was something on fire, which has the briefcase in. So we're going to use the fire extinguisher to get the briefcase, whilst also being chased by literally everything on this island. Luckily, dogs aren't as fast as we are, for whatever reason. But each area is going to have more and more enemies, like that one. The more times we go through it. Most of these you can kind of dodge around, but this game also has the emergency dodge. So if you can mash quick enough whilst being grabbed, you will take no damage. I might get grabbed here. No, we're okay. Let's grab this briefcase and do a little... No, maybe not. It's unfortunate, but we'll be fine, because there's a free heal when we go back to the 3D printing area. There's a free first aid spray that's just chilling on the side, so we can grab that if I need it. But now we've got the briefcase. Inside that is the special alloy, which is not metal. The padlock key we picked up before is for this little shortcut here, so it's going to give us a prompt to get rid of it, which we do. That just saves us having to go all the way around that little guardhouse again. And we quickly dodge through there. We're going to get the problems again, but all we have to put away is the fire extinguisher, because we're going to open up the briefcase by checking it. And it's going to give us a note and the special TG01, not TL01, my apologies. You'll notice that I'm keeping hold of the tutorial playbook that's in the inventory there. That'll come apparent later on. That's the only glitch we're going to use in this run. I'm going to grab that first aid spray for safety. I'm not going to use it just yet because once we get this emblem and we go back through before we get our items back, we are going to get attacked again. A couple of zombies are going to bust through the windows, so I'm going to keep that just in case I take a bit more damage. There's no point in me healing and then going back down to caution or anything like that. Oh, I can't actually, because the first aid spray is metal. I'm going to have to use it here because otherwise I can't get through. That's annoying. There you go. There's the emergency dodge. You'll know it worked because you won't get the bite animation. So I'm going to get the knife and I'm going to get the lighter back out because we need them for later on. We don't need the handgun, actually. The only weapons we'll get is later on. So now we're going to go and use that special emblem that I picked up, which gets us access to the official residence and the training room. This opens up pretty much the second half of the island here. My health's still on 200, so I won't bother getting in. What's good about this game is that there's herbs everywhere, but never where you want them to be. So for safety, I may backtrack to get some herbs later on. Oh, apologies. We're going to quickly go up these steps. It's going to lead us to the second area. Again, we're just going to run straight past these guys because these are aggroed, so they'll just lunge. So we can go around the back of them and we can just safely just slip by. And now we are in the official residence. Welcome to pretty much like the second third of the island section. So we're going to go to the computer and open up some doors with a code we shouldn't have yet, but we are going to use it. The game wants you to kind of look for another briefcase and open it, which gives you the ID, and it's on the back of the ID. But if you've got it straight away, then you don't need it. You can just unlock this door as soon as you go through. Unfortunate. Gonna unlock this little trophy cabinet here. It's gonna trigger a cutscene, but we'll skip that. And grab the steering wheel. Now that opens up the underground. This is a relatively easy dodge. We can just run straight and go to the door. Now we're going to leave this area and we're going to get a trigger. Steve, in his delightful willfulness, has got himself trapped, so we have to save Steve, unfortunately. If you take too long here, he can die and it will be an instant game over, so we're going to be quick. The solution for this one is around the room there's pairs, and there's pairs of different things, so it's the pistols and the magnums, and that's it. The prompt it gives you is something like the pairs will set you free, or something to do with that kind of like thing. It's in Japanese, so I can't remember exactly. The last time I played this in English was years ago. That's a bad dog. And so are you. Get off, please. Thank you. Okay. Now we're going to go down to the submarine section. And we're going to equip the knife as well. Funnily enough, the knife in this game is probably the best knife in the entire series, other than the ones obviously in 4 and 5, which don't break. And the reason for that being is that it's tied into FPS, I believe. So if you aim at a zombie and say aim downwards, because of how their hitbox works, you can hit them like 3, 4 times in a swipe. Each one does about 10 damage, so you're doing about 40 to 50 damage each time you swipe it. And it's going to come apparent into a little mini boss we've got coming up in a minute. Going to get the side pat there. That just lets us carry extra items. Not too much to say about that. And I can't climb a ladder. Okay. So we're going to have to do a couple of puzzles here. Get this little dodge first, that's fine. So we need to move away some containers, which opens up a lift. Once we get on that lift, we'll get a ID card again. We can go back to the training area, and that opens up even more. As you can imagine from a Resident Evil game, it is literally key item to key item to key item. Unfortunately, I do have a quick favor to ask of the staff, if that's okay. There is a brown jacket underneath the table near the big screen. On the inside pocket, there's a piece of paper, and it's got the codes I need for all of the puzzles. If someone wouldn't mind grabbing that for me. It's just under the main table where the big screen is. Thank you so much. I was looking around the area thinking I'm missing something here, and I don't know what it is. Okay, this is going to be... There we go, that's better. Yeah, that's it, perfect. Thank you so much. It's not a speedrun event if something doesn't go wrong, thank you. Luckily I remembered the first 2 codes, otherwise we'd be in a bit of bother. Anyway, we're moving on. Right, so now we've got the biohazard card, we go to the training ground now. Where we're going to get our first... It's situated like it's a boss fight, but the boss that we actually fight ends up becoming a common enemy later on down the line. So you can call it a kind of a mini boss, but we're going to use the knife for that. So we're going to quit the... we'll spin the wheel. Which takes an age, apparently. And hopefully these dogs will play nice. Thank you. Nope. It's fine if they like give us a quick swipe, but if they grab us, obviously that's a big time loss, because they're going to grab us for a good couple of seconds. The dodge here is easy. We can just run straight forward, and 9 times out of 10 we'll never get grabbed. As soon as you come down those steps, you kind of got slight iframes for a couple of seconds, so we can easily swipe past it. We're going to get introduced to an actual boss. I don't know their actual name, but it looks like the Gravedigger from Resi 3, so I'm going to call it the Gravedigger. And for safety, I'm going to grab a red herb here, because we're going to get a green one up top. Use the biohazard card here, and we can go forwards. Now, we're going to get locked in here by Alfred, which we've technically met, but I'm skipping the cutscenes. He's going to try and snipe us, so we need to not get hit by that. As soon as you hit the stairs and press the prompt to go up it, he disappears. He's going to lock us in as like a test subject here, which is why we have that little mini boss. But first things first, I'm going to trigger it. So we get a cutscene of him locking us in, and then I'm going to go into this side room here, because this is where the green herb is that I mentioned earlier. There's also the hemostatic medicine in there if you're playing casually, if you want to go for an S rank, because you need to bring that back to the jail guard from the start of the game if you want to get the S rank. You can get an A rank just on time and use of saves alone, that kind of thing, but we're not going for that. So we're going to get locked in, get the cutscene. This is the Bandersnatch. So you can see here with the knife how it registers several hits each swipe. I'm going to be careful here because my health was really low. There we go. My health got down to about 50 there, so I'd rather not chance that. Always good to have a backup herb if you need it. But they're going to become a bit more of a nuisance later on, but not too much. We can kind of run past most of them. That's the only one that's a mandatory fight. Now we're going to play Steve here for a little bit, but no one likes Steve, so we're just going to run straight through his section. It's meant to be a case of he's now got submachine guns, so you can kind of like let loose if you wanted to. And you're kind of clearing the way for Claire for later. And Jesus, will you let go? And you can actually clear this out if you do kill all the zombies here. Then Claire won't have any to go through later on. But it's just as easy and quick just to run through and just kind of like not bother. It really makes this run a hell of a lot quicker, not having any door scenes on. So the mod that we have to skip the door scenes is actually really invaluable. And I believe the original Resident Evil 2 has recently had big overhauls on their mods where you can skip cutscenes and doors entirely. The run's now like 20 minutes, which is insane, and that's real time. Okay, so we're grabbing the Eagle plate here. That's going to open up another one so we can get another blue card. And yeah, Steve's there because the cutscene we skipped was Steve finding his father, who he was in the jail with. He's unfortunately had to kill him, with him being a zombie. But hey ho, we move. So we're going to use the card again. This time it's going to just stay open now. It's not going to close on us again. The only reason it closed last time was because Alfred locked us in. We're going to go up the stairs to where he was before, and there's a little blue emblem to the side here, which we can use the diorama in, which opens up, gives us the blue card. And then we're going to go back downstairs. We're going to go back to the Steve's area here, but we're not actually going to do anything apart from get a few items and get bit a few times, apparently. Can you... We love tank controls, but we also don't, on account of that they're a pain if you have to make really specific lines. So the blue card opens up this little gate here, which becomes apparent for both Claire and later on as we play as Chris. So we're going to go straight back up here. That takes us back to where Steve's section started. And the reason for that is because there's a grenade launcher in here that we need. So we're going to use that and grab it. And we're going to go this way back to the lift. We're going to take it to the top floor this time. It only took us to the first floor earlier. We're in the basement right now, so we're going to go to the second, where we're going to get the next key item. And it's also going to unlock an area as well. So we need the blue card here to get through this door too. Incoming jump scare. Quite apparent for when it was released. I did read recently this game's 25 years old. Now I feel old. So we're going to get the army proof there. That's one of 3 that we need. And we're going to get in the security cameras here, so we can get the code for the next door, which is on here. So it's 1126. Now, technically, we know this, but because there was like the biohazard going off, we can't actually access this area until now. So that door is next to where we first used the silver card when we first came through here, which is good that it remains open the second time we go through, because we can run straight back this way instead of having to go all the way around again. Okay, so we're coming to the door here. So it is 1126. 1126. That lets us in. Now we're going to grab that picture that's on the wall. No, we're not. We're going to get blocked off by a dead body. Grab the picture, and again, I don't know where we're putting all these items. We've got a grenade launcher and a big painting at the moment, so God knows. Now we're going to have another biohazard incident with whatever this thing is. And we're going to have about 45 seconds to get out, which is more than enough time, as long as I don't get stun locked. We're going to grab the bowgun here as well. That's another key item we're going to need for later. Get a little file with it as well. As soon as you hit the trigger to go down the stairs, the timer runs out and it's fine. It's going to lock now. We can't go back there again, but it's fine because we don't need to. We're going to go use that army picture, skeleton picture to go get a key. So we go back around this way, back through here. So we're going to go back to where we got the blue plate originally. That's bad. Using the skeleton picture there opens up the back of the room as such, which also has the gold key on. You'll notice I've got the gold Lugers there as well. That's what we swapped Steve for the submachine guns that we picked up earlier. I'm going to pick up some bowgun arrows here, and that comes apparent again later on. I'm going to get 2 lots of these. But now we've got the gold key, and we've got the gold Lugers. We can go back to the residence and go and use it. So the gold key gets used first. That's going to give us the earth-wearing vase, which we have to get another key item from that's inside it. It's one of those where you have to kind of like check it and spin it around. I'm going to grab a herb here and heal. The great thing about Code Veronica, and also 4, because they came out relatively quickly straight after each other, is if your inventory is full and you pick up a herb, it will ask you if you want to use it. That's the wrong door, Dan. Thank you. I have just healed, my guy. Please stop. Okay, we're going in here, yeah. So we're going to have another puzzle here, which is why I needed that piece of paper. So you have to do this in the order of the Ashwood family. So you've got the woman first, then the man with the 2 babies, and then the man with the teacup is over here somewhere. There he is. It's so hard to see sometimes. Then plate. That's not the one. There he is. Then the paper. Then candles. And then the big one up here. This is like the Ashford bloodline, which is the main antagonist of this one. You've got Alfred, Alexia, who are like twins. I won't go into the lore because it's weird. But doing that gives us the vase. And now we can go into the private residence, which is what the gold Lugers are for. That never happens. So we're going to go up the stairs this time instead of outside. Quickly get a little dodge around here. Again, there's another herb in here if I absolutely need it, but you know what, yeah, we'll play it safe. So the gold Lugers, you can equip them, but there's no point. You don't have any ammo with it. Steve finds them in where the little area where he gets locked in earlier on. And we kind of say, yeah, we need them. And he's like, no, you're not having it. They're cool, I want them. That's why we need the submachine gun that we picked up before the little mini-boss. So we're going to have another code here. Again, we know it already, so it's fine. So it's 1971. But there's a little clock where the cutscene showing you here, every time you spin it a certain way, it'll give you a number that tells you what the code is. But again, we already know this, so we can just put it in straight away. The game acts as if you already know all this stuff. There's no like triggers apart from the skeleton picture. And the Bandersnatch is back. Like I say, this is gonna become a common enemy rather than a mini boss like it was originally. Now we don't have any codes until the second half of the game, so we're fine. We don't need any. So we're going to the private residence now, and who you just heard was Alexia. Again, because we're skipping all these cutscenes, you don't get too much of the backstory. But if you, I implore anyone who's never played this before to either go and play it or read into the backstory, because it is a good one. It's just, in the grand scheme of Resident Evil stories, it's not what you would expect. I forgot to put my lighter on. So again, with these bats, if you've got the lighter equipped, they won't attack you. They'll fly near you, but as long as you've got the lighter equipped, they won't actually grab you or anything.
Keep focused, brother.
There we go. So there's Alexia again. We're going to go into the room. Gonna turn that off. We like K-pop round here. That gives us the silver key under there, but first we are going to do this. Which gives us the Queen Anne, I believe that one is. That unlocks it. We grab the music plate, and we grab the silver key. Silver key unlocks another area in the official residence that we were before, which gives us another plate, which we then have to take back to the jail right at the start of the game to get other items to then come back again. You can see where we're going with this. Yeah, the Bandersnatches are quite easy to dodge, but sometimes they will grab you or just give you a quick swipe like that. But 9 times out of 10, you can kind of just run past. We're going to get locked in a room with 2 shortly, whilst we get a key item, which is going to be a bit stressful, but we'll see. Okay, so there's one more there. I should have probably saved that herb for now, but we should be fine. Let's go back downstairs. We're going to go back into the same corridor as earlier, but we're going to go into the door I tried to go into earlier to use the silver key. That goes in there. Okay, here we go. I'm going to be quiet for a second because I need to.
While you're doing that, we have a £20 donation from Just Joe.
Okay, we're good. Also, thank you, Just Joe. Right, where am I going? Okay, yes. It's like speedrunning a game like this because of all of the items. It is like playing chess. You have to think 3, 4 items ahead to realize the route you're meant to be taking. Okay, we're good, we're good. There is some herbs downstairs I can grab. I will get a free heal as well once we go use the plate that we've just picked up near the prison at the start. But for the sake of being safe, because, you know, marathons, I'm going to quickly grab a green over here and use it. There we go. So I'm back in fine status. Got 150 HP, so we're good. Funnily enough, your run speed doesn't actually decrease if you're in caution. It only decreases once you're in danger. But either way, we don't want to be in danger regardless. So we're going to go back, way back to the start where we first picked up the fire extinguisher and the plate. And we're going to use the blue plate over here. And while that door's opening, I'm going to equip the grenade launcher, because the zombies there spawn, but they don't activate until the door's fully open. The door carries on opening, even though I'm in my inventory. So we use that to equip the grenade launcher, but also because the door's then open, we can just run straight past and they won't aggro. Okay, so this doctor's got a glass eye that we need. That's unfortunate, but we'll take it. We should be up like kind of point blank, and it will take him out in one hit, but two's not bad. The way I play these kind of things when I'm doing a run is I always play safe. So I will pick up a few extra rounds here and there. If you were going for, say, like a record or anything like that, you probably wouldn't. But I always like to be able to at least finish the run rather than anything else. Right, we're going to grab the sword here, which is going to trigger a trap. Where we need to push this all the way around to stop the gas from coming out. You'll see the gas slowly rising. We love them textures. So you've got one or two options here. You can push this round, which is what you're meant to do to unlock the next bit, or you can put the sword back. But you need the sword for this bit, so you can get another key item once this is open, which you'll see shortly. So that's going to open that. We're going to get grabbed here, but we're going to take no damage. No, we're not. Oh my, that's never happened before. Apologies. Right, we're going to grab the piano roll here, which is, again, what we need for later. Okay, we're going back to the official residence now. I'm stuck on something. We do love the emergency dodge, I've got to admit. Okay, I've got 125 health. I'm going to use the first aid spray. Wherever it is. Game, please. Thank you. Okay, so we're at full health now. Again, being entirely safe there. It is a bit of a free one because we're coming past there twice, so you can grab it whenever. But it's always quicker as well to use it when you've got a full inventory, so you don't have to go into the inventory and actually use it that way. It just uses it for you. All right. So we're going to just backtrack a hell of a lot now, so if there's been any donations, anything you want to plug, now is a perfect time. Okay, now we're back at the dogs are gone because we're going to trigger a cutscene here with Wesker, who wasn't as big in the original Cole Veronica. There's two versions, Cole Veronica and Cole Veronica X. Cole Veronica X give Wesker a bigger part to play in this. So we're going to go back upstairs. We're going to go to the opposite side to where we were before. And we're going to do the glitch that I spoke about earlier. This is why we've kept the entire the tutorial book with us the entire time. Now these are rounds for the bowgun. So I'm going to check the bowgun apparently. I'm going to mix these two together. That gives me explosive rounds. And equip it. Okay. Now we're going to go over here. I'm going to back out, go to File. No, we're not. First, I need to mix something first. Apologies. I need to mix these two together. So that's 80. Now you can see I've got 10 explosives and I've got 80 normal. We're going to go in the file and read it that way. That glitches it. So now we've got 80 explosive rounds. Because it comes out of our inventory, but we've not actually used it, the game just moves one along. So because we've got the bowgun equipped with explosive rounds, it moves it to the bowgun ammo, which now gives us 80 explosive rounds rather than the 10 that we already had, which is going to be mighty fine. We're going to not dodge, but not get hit either. And we're going to go back to the private residence. I'm going to get a little love tap there, but that's fine. Okay. So we're going to have zombies here now, I believe. Yep. So we're going to try and weave in between, or not. Okay. The Bandersnatchers are technically here, but for some reason they like despawn and then respawn. I never quite understood that, but it gives us a quick free run straight through this area, which we don't mind. And now zombies are going to be here now instead of bats, which is, again, not too shabby. There's one there, we'll take him out. And there's one here, can be a bit of a pain, so we'll take him out too. And another one. This is why having those explosive rounds in plentiful amounts is great. Because you can take out little mini enemies like that relatively quickly. And without a loss of too much ammo. Because as much as we've got 77 explosive rounds now, anytime we pick up any more bowgun rounds, they're just going to go into our inventory at that same spot. So they're all going to be explosives regardless. Going to grab the silver dragonfly, which is technically actually a key. Go all the way back round. We're going to have to check it in the inventory here so we can find out that the wings can be clipped off, and then we can use it as the key is intended. If you're not sick of this song yet, sorry, you're going to hear it about 5 more times after this. Okay. We go up, and we're going to get another one of the proofs that we picked up earlier. This, like I said, there's 3. We've got the Army proof, this is the Air Force, and then there's a Navy one, which is just chilling out in the side. I didn't push that far enough. I'm going to get another file again. Just a bit more backstory, lore kind of thing. We don't care. And off we go. Now we've got 2 proofs. The last one is right outside the residence that we need to go past anyway. So first things first, we're going to trigger a bunch of cutscenes. We find out Alfred's actually been dressing up as his sister Alexia. I did this again. I did this in practice. I keep thinking I'm coming out the wrong way. And for safety, I'm taking the first aid spray. Because again, it's there, it's in the way, we have to run past it anyway. The 1-2 second time save is minimal when you compare it to dying or having to restart a full area. So now we've got the proofs. We're actually going to get out of here now. So the 3 proofs are used to activate a biplane that's in the underwater section that we were in earlier. So that's where we're going to go. The last one, the Navy proofs, right outside of the door here that we have to go past anyway. That's why we leave it till the last one. So as soon as we come outside, you'll see it flashing in the distance. There it is. So as soon as we pick this up, we're now in the end section of the island. We're going to get a couple of cutscenes with Steve. And now we're going to be with Steve until we get on the plane.
We gotta get to that airport.
£10
There was some
donation.
bowgun rounds there that I should have probably picked up. We'll be fine. We should be fine. I can get some extra ones a bit further down. We've got more than enough. Most runners, if you're going for like top times, they won't pick up the extra ones that I did. They'll probably pick up maybe 1 or 2 at most. I've picked up at least 3 or 4. But again, we like safety rather than having less ammo than we actually need. Okay, so the 3 proofs that we've picked up earlier are going to be used here. So we have to bring the bridge over first because that's always a thing. It can't just be there ready and waiting for us, and we have to use all 3 proofs. which activates the lift so we can go down to the plane. We'll find out that the plane is blocked by a gate, so now we have to get a control lever to unlock the gate so the plane can actually leave. Because nothing's ever simple. Luckily, it's right here. And a big thing about this, because we are using door skip mod, some of these doors for like dramatic effect, they'll have like a heartbeat kind of animation, well not animation, but sound effect going on, and they'll do it slow. So there's about, I want to say maybe 10 of those across the whole run, and if you think of a normal door animation, it's a good like, what, 3 or 4 seconds, I'd say. These could take upwards of like 12 to 15. So being able to have them just not a problem is definitely a help rather than a hindrance. And like I say, the modders of these games are insane. They've made the cutscene skip mod now for Resi 2, the original one that I ran here last year. Which has now took that from like a 45-minute run to a 20-minute run because there's that many cutscenes. Door skip has been implemented on Resi 2 as well, so it's just been crazy, the time save on that as a whole. So we go across. We've opened up the area to get out of with the plane, so we're going to get the key to actually get back to where we're going, because we've lifted the bridge up, so we can't go back that way. So we have to go to a different side. And I've just realized we're going to go past those bowgun rounds I mentioned earlier, so I can still pick them up. So I will get them as well, just to be on the safe side. Again, you probably wouldn't if you were going for top times, but it's better to be safe than dead. So the lift's stuck here, so we need to push these 2 blocks inside. So there's 1. Two. I was going to get those herbs there, but I'm going to leave them for now, because I'm going to leave them for another character we're going to come back here as later. Just in case, because his area is a little bit more treacherous. We're going to come out where Gravedigger is, but we're going to ignore him. We're going to get a slight mini fight here with the Tyrant. And that's why we have explosive rounds. The explosive rounds in this game, I think you're only meant to get 30 total. So for it to be glitched to give us at least 100 it's definitely a game breaker. Every boss in Claire's section will get absolutely destroyed by them. Yeah, I'm going to get them just in case. And now we can go back to the plane. That Tyrant's going to come back again on the plane. And it's going to be a little bit of a puzzle fight. But we'll talk more about that when we get there. We have to actually get there first. And as always, with Capcom games, they give us about 10 minutes more than we actually need to get out of any of these situations, as long as you know where you're going. But now that the lifts, the bridge is raised, we can get out on the plane. So as soon as we go into the plane, we'll start skipping a couple of cutscenes. Then we'll get into the Tyrant fight on the plane, because for some reason it's managed to stow away on board. There we go. So I'm going to need to hit the Tyrant 24 times, so I'm going to go quiet and count. There we go. Yeah, so you need to get his HP low enough that using that will knock him out like so. Otherwise, it takes about 30 seconds for it to reload itself. So it's just it is a massive bit of time lost there. Right. So welcome to Antarctica. This is the secondary portion of Claire's section. Antarctica is more of the same. It's key item to key item to key item. Only with the added benefit of now we can be poisoned. So we're going to grab the key here first. We're going to go in this room here that I almost nearly didn't go past. Grab the barcode stick up. That's going to become apparent later for this room. Ow. So we're going to get a valve shortly, and we need to cut it in a certain way. Now we know it's octagonal, but Claire doesn't. So we have to examine where it's going first. Otherwise the game won't let us do it. We'll put it on the section and Claire will be kind of like, well, I don't know how to get this cut. So we have to examine it first and then it automatically does it for us. We're going to put the power back on here. Which lets all the conveyor belts and things move. That's why we picked the barcode sticker up, because we're going to cause a slight biohazard ourselves by rerouting a box of biohazardous material, which unlocks a gas mask in the area, which is what we need for later on. Because Steve, in his infinite wisdom, is going to be an idiot once again, and he's going to cause a bigger biohazard incident than we are. You know, swings and roundabouts. Okay, so first things first, let's turn the conveyor belt on. That gets it shifted. Put the sticker on, and then we can send that off. That takes it to the BOW room where the gas mask is, but the gas mask won't actually unlock until there's gas actually in the air. So we have to create one, and now it's unlocked, so we can grab that. And we're going to go back to where we were earlier. Okay, we're good. That's new. Never in my life have I seen that where the egg stays with you. I always thought once you go through a door, then it just disappears. I've never seen it follow you through an area like that. That's interesting. Anyway, we're going to grab a little file there. We're going to unlock this door. And there's going to be a plant pot in the corner. The plant pots have no use to us, but the key underneath it will be. And say hello to our next boss. Grab some more bowgun rounds. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the bowgun and the grenade launcher in the box. Now the reason being for that is we're going to swap to playing as Chris after this section. And Chris literally has a handgun and a knife. Now, most people playing this casually will probably put stuff in on instinct to be kind of in a case of I don't need it right now, I need the space for other keys, that kind of thing. So you'd put stuff in there for no reason other than just storage. Now, when you get to Chris's section, you are immediately thrown into a boss fight. a boss fight just straight with the handgun is not the best place to be. You have the knife, a handgun, and one first aid spray, and that's pretty much about it. So if you don't put stuff in the box for Chris, he can be at a very massive disadvantage. So we do that so Chris has got some good, decent equipment just to start off. Now this is the cutting tool I mentioned earlier. So if we hadn't had examined the octangular hole where this actually goes into, the game wouldn't let us cut this. It would say that Claire doesn't know what to cut it to. So now we've got the octagonal handle there. I'm going to grab a herb here as well. And this is why we needed the gas mask and the valve handle, because that cutscene I skipped there, Steve starts messing about with a crane and he damages a BOW biohazard kind of capsule, which causes an outbreak of gas where exactly we need to be going. And we need to use the octagonal handle to turn the gas off, but it won't let us in the room without the gas mask. There we go. Skipping cutscenes now, we're going to get into our next boss fight, which is the Nosferatu fight, which is the monster that we saw when we picked up the plant pot earlier. We're going to skip a bunch of cutscenes. We're going to end up on a heliport.
Okay.
Oh, that was nearly interesting. Get enough distance between it. Nosferatu has its own brand of poison. If I get poisoned by that, Chris's section becomes infinitely longer straight away. And that's the game. Okay, so we skip cutscenes, skip cutscenes, skip cutscenes. Now we're playing as Chris. Chris is Claire's brother, in case you didn't know. And this is why we put stuff in the item box. Because Chris needs it. Straight away, we're going to get into the boss fight with the Gravedigger. I'm going to walk. I misfired one, but it's fine. Chris doesn't need that many with the bowgun explosive rounds because we can't do the glitch again. So those explosive rounds are gone now, apart from the 10 that we've already got, which Chris uses all of them, so that's fine. So Chris is obviously has been contacted by Leon from Resi 2 because one of the cutscenes right at the start that we skipped is Claire using the Umbrella computer to contact Leon to basically say, "Oh, hell's broken loose, I need help." Leon gets in touch with Chris, says, "Hey, your sister's out in Europe somewhere. She's been captured. You need to go and sort it out." So Chris, unfortunately, gets there too late because Claire's already been and gone. So now it's up to Chris to have an investigation around, see what's going on, and then he eventually then follows them to Antarctica. So Chris' section is a lot of the same, except we're going to get a lot more different enemies that pop up here and there. So first things first, get the battery pack. Chris's section is going to have the hunters in it, which are very dangerous for the simple fact being, if we're in caution or slightly low health, hunters have a one-hit kill mechanic. If they lunge at us, they will take our head completely off, which obviously we don't want. So if at any point I go off the beaten track to get a heal as Chris, it's because there's a hunter upcoming and we just don't want to die. Because if we die in Chris's section, we have to start right at the start of Chris's section, which is just before the Gravedigger fight. Okay, so we've got the chemical storage key. We're going to go get the doorknob next. We're going to get some cutscenes here to skip. Yeah, no, excuse me. Brain was not braining then for some reason. When it gets to Chris's section, the amount of times you use this lift, it's a lot. So each time you go in the lift, you go into a different floor. And if you don't know which floor you'll go into, it can be a massive bit of time loss. And this is precisely why I asked the staff if I could have my live split open to do this run, so I can know exactly where we're going. So with the chemical storage key, we can go in here, and we're going to get 1/2 of a chemical, which is going to become apparent later on. So we're going to use the key, discard it. Then we're going to have to set this to 12.8, which changes the color. So we know, even though the textures of it is completely different to us as the player, the game says, oh, you need to set the temperature to this much because the chemical that you need to dissolve this specific type of metal will change color at this temperature. Okay, we're good. So we're going back up again to the second floor. No, we're not. This is how I mean when you go the wrong way. Apologies. No, we're not. Oh, right, hang on. No, entirely my fault. We're going the right way. Apologies. Like I say, it can get very confusing having to keep coming up and down that lift. This is precisely why we got the doorknob earlier. Yeah. Without the doorknob, I can't get through this door upcoming, which leads us to the tank object, which is what we need for the next key. Bit of a sinking of a time loss, but it's not too major. You'll see these little kind of camera machines that will become apparent in this room here. And if we get spotted by that, it's a couple of seconds time loss, but it does spawn a hunter in the same room. I'm going to try my best to avoid it, but they can be kind of finicky. Okay, now we can go to the first floor, which is what I wanted earlier. So yeah, I was thinking already 3 steps ahead. That's the issue. Now putting the tank objects in here will open up the painting behind us, which gives us the turntable key. I can't quick turn for some reason. And we got another note to basically kind of say where it's used. And we're going to go back down into the basement now, back where the 2 hunters spawned earlier. And we're going to go get the 3 proofs that we used as Claire. Because we still need to use them as Chris. This is a little bit of downtime as well, again. So if you got any donations, anything you want to say, that's perfect time. Yeah, though that little lunging attack that those hunters do is not great. Getting hit by one of them, anything under fine health is an instant death. Hence why I'm going to grab a quick herb there to bring me back up from that original attack. We're going to do another quick puzzle now with Chris. We need to regulate the oil that's in this room here. So what we have to do is fill it to the top first. And the easiest way to do that is keep using freeze. We need to get it to 8. But obviously it starts at 0. So we fill it all the way up first, then we drain it. And then we can do a 3 and a 5. Now that puts the power back on so we can start raising and lowering the lift and the bridge. Because we need to lower the bridge that we raised as Claire earlier so we can get across this gangway. Now, hopefully this hunter will play nice. Leave us alone. Yeah, that's fine. There's another one at the edge here. But a quick move to the side is normally enough. Once through this, we're going to buffer our run. So we don't aggro the hunter straight away so we can get past him and back out again pretty easily. We're going to get all the free proofs here as Chris. And the reason for that is where we pick the turntable key up, we have to put them in again. Yeah, he's playing nice as well, thank God. Okay, they're playing relatively nice today. Okay, we're going to get the second part of the chemical, which we picked the first part up from before, because we're going to melt down one of the blue plates that we had earlier as Claire. So going through the training ground here, there's a zombie on the floor here. He will bite you if you go too close, so we kind of just do a little bit of a curved line there. There's gas down here now, so we have to just quickly ventilate it. If we would have tried to go in from the other side, we would have just consistently took damage, and it's relatively quickly as well. We'll probably die before we can even get through any kind of doors. And we're going to go straight across here. There's a hunter in this room as well. You'll notice that there's probably going to be 1 or 2 hunters in most of Chris's rooms. I need to use the first aid spray. It's unfortunate, but it's fine. And now we're going to go back to the lift. Because we're technically on B1, but we want to be on the first floor. So we can use the proofs and get to the next area. I'm going to pick up a few extra items on the way down here as well, rather than just the key item that we need. I'm going to get some extra grenade rounds and some herbs as well. using those free proofs here unlocks this handle. Pull that down. That gives us another secret area. Whoever the architect is that makes these things, I want that job because they must be making absolute bank doing this. Okay, we're good, we're good. We're at full health, but I will grab a quick herb in the corner here because we're about to just tank a bit of damage. So just in case I take a bit too much. Again, better to be on the safe side. So this is, it's framed as a boss fight, but it's not really. This was the thing that popped out before in Claire's campaign. It's now all grown up. It will electrocute the water, so we have to kind of just run at the side. And hopefully we'll get lucky and it won't shock us. If it does, it's not too bad. We won't take massive amounts of damage. Okay, we're good. We're perfect. Getting knocked down isn't ideal, but it's better that than getting stun locked, because it can stun lock us with its electricity. Okay. So now we're finished with Chris's island section. We're going to get off and go over to Antarctica. So we're going to go down to the basement first for two reasons. One, we're going to grab the shotgun for safety. And two, it's quicker to go this way ever so slightly than it is to go back outside again. I knew that was going to happen. That's fine. So we're going to mix the two chemicals a bit earlier. It's just I want to keep that herb for now. Taking that shotgun off, we'll do this. That opens up this little extra area below us. And this ladder takes us exactly where we need to go for Chris's playing. So using the chemicals we got before and the plate, we can melt the plate down, gives us the halberd. That opens up the plane. Chris gets in it, and then we're off to the races. So now we're both in Antarctica, both Chris and Claire. There's two little things there, so we take them out with a bow gun round each. Tentacles, that's the word I'm looking for. The halberd we picked up just from that plate by melting it down also unlocks another area down here for us as Chris that we're going to use to get a key item and a couple of other bits. We're going to get the paperweight, another file, and it's going to try and give us some ink ribbons, but we don't need them. Because who wants to save with speedrunning? Gonna get a backup herb there as well. Okay, so Chris has kind of got to backtrack a bit. Not go this way, actually, I've just realised. Sorry, boys. Because we need to go find some items as what we did with Claire. Because they'll still be in the same spot as they were earlier. So first things first is the octagonal handle. Yeah, going that wrong way slightly and having to watch that zombie cutscene is eating to time a little bit, but it's not too bad. Instead we want this zombie cutscene. Instead of turning on the spot here, I'm just going to start aiming because the closest zombie to us is actually in the right direction that we want to go. So as soon as I can get control again, I should immediately aim and we can run past. And we can go all the way to the opposite side. Not in here though. Okay, play nice, play nice. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to use the valve handle here. That's going to put the power back on for us. And turn it back on there. You'll see it's on because you'll see all the lights are a bit more prominent now. I'm going to use a herb because I'm going to have to tank some damage. I'm going to throw him off, hopefully do exactly that. We want that throw to hit at least all of them if we can. I'm going to have to use that herb as well, I've just realised. Oh, this is bad. I need to find an item box. I don't have room because I took the shotgun. This is going to eat time. Thankfully, I know where one is, but we're going to lose a lot. Which is unfortunate. Ideally, we didn't want to come back to this area at all until we absolutely had to, but I'm going to need to go back to where we got the paperweight from and drop an item. Wait. Apologies. We don't have to do that. Because I am a professional. And I know the game mechanics inside and out, which is why I knew I can absolutely make a space in my inventory by mixing my grenade rounds with my grenade launcher and didn't have to spend 40 seconds to go back to try and find an item box or use an emergency herb I wanted to keep. Yeah. Anyway, we're back on track. Okay, now I can get the square socket and I can put the gem back. And now we're going to go this way. Unfortunately, that was a massive eat on time there. Completely forgot we could do that. As you can imagine, when it comes to these kinds of runs, because you are automatically thinking 2, 3, 4 steps ahead, something as simple as mixing a herb or mixing ammo with the gun it's for can be quite a pain if you forget how to do it in time. Okay, there we go. And that's where the paperweight goes in. Get a little cutscene. Alfred's dead, so we're just gonna quickly just rob him real quick, grab his ring. I am gonna use this herb here, just because I've seen what my health's on. Unfortunate. It is what it is. We're going to turn the power back off. Oh, can you not? Because that's going to... We need it off for later on when we come back here. Ah, no. Every time I come in this room, I go and try and use that lift. We do use a lift. This one, not that one. Okay, this is what the square socket was for. So we can mix that with that, and then we can use this to drain the pool. We use that to get the crane key, and then we can get the second jewel that we need. And then we'll get into our next boss fight shortly after that. Now, hopefully, this hunter's not going to give us too much grief because it is a poison one. If it hits us, it could. There is a chance it poisons. So ideally, we don't want to get hit at all. Yeah, we are poisoned. Okay. Because poison in this game is really, really bad. I'm going to have to lose a bit of time and get to a safe spot. Okay, there we go. So the blue herb gets rid of the poison, and then I'm just going to use a green to get that health back that I lost. Like I said earlier, I've got my live split up, so I've got the route here, so I can see. Up until my little doozy of the grenade launcher rounds, we were 2.5 minutes ahead. Because of course. Okay. So using the crane brings up Nosferatu, who's for some reason frozen here. We need his jewel, so we're going to grab that. And now we're going to go back to where we were earlier. And we're going to get into our next boss fight with Alexia. Oh, first actually we're going to swap. We're going to find and actually swap to Claire. We're going to kill that hunter for 2 reasons. One, I don't want to get poisoned again. And for 2, he just gets in the way. So we need another, yeah, there's another dragonfly wing there, and there's another one there as well. I actually wanted to pick that one up and not jump down yet, but either way works. I need to equip Chris's knife as well. That's just going to skip equipping it here in a second. Because Claire's going to be, yeah, strung up like this. By having it equipped already, we can just immediately trigger the next cutscene. Okay, so we're back to Claire now. Now, the glitches wore off because we technically don't have anything equipped. I'm going to keep these 2 heals on me because this is going to get really dicey. So some tentacles are going to try and attack me there. Getting hit once is fine. We're going to come up on, it's not essentially a boss fight as such. It's Steve. Steve's been infected and he's going to mutate and try and kill us. And the only thing we can do is literally run away. I need to be careful here. Yeah, if you're like a second slower at putting the crystal down, that will come down and kill you straight away. So again, I'm going to be safe. Okay, so I have a first aid spray in case Steve clips us. I'm at full health, so we should be fine. So this very ominous corridor, as you can see, is the arena. I'm going to be quiet because it's really tough. There we go, that's fine. Taking 1 hit does 120 damage. And you only have 200. That's Alexia down. 3 grenade shots will do that, and then we're going to get her jewel next. So we need to examine each one of these, which gets the jewel out of it, to use in this picture. And then we're going to get some more keys and that kind of stuff there shortly. Alexa's going to get back up. Not going to be a problem till later. We'll be fine. Normally we can run past him without getting grabbed, but it's not that bad of a big a deal. So getting that key unlocks where we were earlier, the area that actually looks a bit like an area from Resident Evil 1, which is over here. Now that dragon statue that we went past earlier, now we've turned the power off, it doesn't open any slots there, so we can get both the red and the blue gems. And you'll notice this private residence on this side of the island, well, that's not on the island, should I say, is completely mirrored as it is where we were earlier. Yeah, we're going to stop that. Use the red jewel. That unlocks it again. Get the music plate, and we're going to come to this side, do the blue gem. We're just going to examine it a bunch of times, apparently. That unlocks the upstairs, and we're going to go upstairs and get the gold dragonfly. The one we got before was silver. This is a gold one. This one also doesn't have wings. That's the wings that we've been picking up throughout the entirety of Chris's section. Going to get the last wing when we're not getting bit in this little area. There's also a couple of herbs in here as well, so I'm going to grab one quick to heal. And keep one on me as well. I do have that first aid spray, but hopefully, all being well, we won't need it. And again, being safe. Gonna get a cutscene with Claire here. She's crying over Steve because, of course. And this is final now. This is final stretch. We're going to final boss fight, and then it will be time. So we're going to open the emergency file once I get the angle right. Get the key card. Also, that tells us the password, the final password of the game, which you guessed it is Veronica. That's going to activate the self-destruct system, and that's going to give us our opportunity here to get the hell out. But without the ID card that we just got from the file, we can't access this computer. One day I hope Resident Evil lets me put like a code like that in by actually typing it. That'd be so much easier. Why do I have to use your keyboard?
This facility will detonate in 5 minutes. All doors are now unlocked.
Yeah, so it opens up every single door, but it doesn't matter for us. I'm going to quit the bowgun, because I'm going to need that now in a second. Another safety herb, because you never know. Claire's going to get attacked by Alexia. Again, this is one of those instances where if you don't do something quickly, it's game over. So we're going to quickly hit him once with the bowgun, and she's going to mutate. And this is final boss. Equip the grenade launcher, and by aiming upwards, like such, we can kind of get like headshots with it, which does additional damage. There we go, so this is second phase. I'm going to grab that linear launcher there, that's just popped out. As soon as I hit her with that, that will be time. This is really bad. Time. That was fun. I like that. If we didn't go the wrong way 3 times, that would have been great. But we're going to skip all the rest of the end cutscenes. And that was called Veronica X on the PS3. And that was a 1:27, 1 second in game time. My live split says 1:26. I don't trust it, I'll be honest with you. Only because it did split a little bit different at one point. 1:14 that was on loads removed. However, again, the splits kind of went a bit skewy at the end there, so it's probably about a 1:15. But yeah, that was called Veronica X. Anyone looking to run this, there's a great community for it out there. Just obviously Google it, get it on speedrun.com. All the resources are there. They've been absolutely great with it. A few guys that I know, Mogul helped us getting it set up because PS3 emulators can be a bit dodge. So yeah, that's called Veronica X. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Obviously stick around for the rest of the runs, and I will catch you when I catch you. My name is SpenceSpeedruns. You can follow me on Twitch and YouTube at the same handle if you want. I mainly run Devil May Cry series 1 to 5, but I do obviously dabble in some Resident Evils here and there. So if that's your thing, follow us, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.